Hello folks, and welcome to part 4 of my Barbarian Prince playthrough. I am the Lone Adventurer. Thank you very much for stumbling your way upon my channel. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll put a link in the top corner of the screen right about now, and links to parts 2 and 3 in the description below. Where are we at? Well, our down on his luck Barbarian Prince made his way to the town of Cymru and was sort of hoping for a bit of luck in there, having just outside the town encountered a ruin. Thought, oh goody goody, might be something fun in the ruin, but it turned out the ruin was cursed by a chaos lord or something, and it sent me insane. So I went into the town, got robbed by a cut purse, stayed for another day, tried to go and see the mayor. The mayor took one look at me, told me to shove off, and that's where we're at. So I'm not going to lie, in the last video, or whilst filming the last video, I did find myself getting a little bit grumpy because the game wasn't turning out in a particularly exciting cinematic way, but I think that's just the way this game goes. It really is very, very random, very swingy, and anything could happen. But that's part of its charm, I think. So I'm just going to push on, record another video. That's what I'm doing right now, and we'll just see whether anything interesting happens. But just crack on. So I spent some time in Cymru, and that hasn't really worked out for me. So maybe I need to push on south and try and get somewhere else, and maybe we'll have some interesting adventures along the way. So I guess we will head out of town, and we're going to head into this field down here. Now, when you exit a location, you have to roll to see whether you get lost there. Now, I don't have that information for a town. I think I've come across this issue before. I don't really know what landscape I should be rolling in terms of whether I'm getting lost or not. So I think I'll just treat it as a field. So it's in countryside, and so we'll roll to see whether we get lost leaving the town. So on a 9 or more, we will be lost. No, we're not lost. Good. So we're going to move down into this hex here, and on a 9 or more, we'll have an event. No event. Alrighty. Now that we are out of the town, we can do some hunting, which would probably be a good idea because I've only got 1 food. So what we're doing here, we've got our combat score, and our endurance is currently on 5. So half of that rounded down is 2, so we've got to roll more than a 7 in order to find some food. 7 exactly. So we have not found any food. Wonderful. But we have got 1 bit of food that we can consume, which means our starvation level is dropping back down. Combat skill going back up, which is good, but it does mean it's harder to find food. Okay, so this was all in day 4 of week 3. Now in day 5, we are going to have to attempt to cross this river. Right, so crossing the river, I've got the crossing river and rules in front of me. So first we need to see whether we get lost crossing the river, because that's apparently a thing that can happen. If we roll an 8 or more, we get lost. Nope, we're not lost. Then there's a possibility that something happens whilst we cross the river on a 10 plus. No, okay, lovely. So that makes things nice and simple. On the other side of the river, we're going this way, I guess, is some mountains. So in the rules it says, if this doesn't, okay, so if you don't get lost crossing the river, then enter the hex on the other side. Check for getting lost moving into that hex, and any travel events for the terrain entered there. So I think this is maybe what I got wrong last time. Like if you get lost entering this hex, it means you sort of stay by the river and you end your day. And then you have to, on the next go, roll for getting lost going into that location again, maybe? Anyway, we're going to get lost on a 7 or more. And we don't get lost. Lovely. And do we have an event moving into the mountains? 7, have an event on 9 or more, so no. And I just realised that I've done a silly thing. I shouldn't have moved into the mountains, because you can't hunt in mountains, and I haven't got any food. Oh. But I was so lucky crossing the river that I don't really want to backpedal there. So I think we'll just suck it up and accept that I'm going to starve a little bit. Okay, so we are not going to hunt, we're just going to do some starving. So that's going to happen there. Then our combat skill is going to go down to 5. Alright, and obviously we're not going to stay in the mountains. On the following day, we're going to try and head south into the forest. We're going to get lost on... Oh no, so we need to see where we get lost leaving the mountains on a 7 or more. Nope, all good. And then we have an event entering the forest on a 9 or more. 6, 7, 8. Not a lot of events. That's part of the problem, because you kind of need events for stuff to happen. But anyway, we move successfully into the forests. In the forest, we can at least do some hunting. So we're going to have a successful hunt on, if we roll more than 7. 7 exactly, so that means we do not get any food, so we're going to starve again. Brilliant. I must be quite the sight by now, wandering around, haggard, emaciated, bones, ribs showing through my clothes. Just a delightful sight, all in all. So that was day 6. And we're going to move on to day 7. And day 7, I think we'll just keep on heading south. Or shall we stick to the forest? I mean, we've got a little settlement there. And then we could theoretically go through here to that temple. But then this is all Badlands. I don't really know what happens in the Badlands, but it doesn't sound good, does it? I wonder if I should be sort of sticking to forests and fields and things until such time that I'm a little bit more confident about my ability to not die. But that hasn't been working out for me so far. We could rest. We could rest in the forest, because if you rest, I think you still could have an event, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So you still potentially have an event. You're just not doing the whole getting lost thing. So I think I might stay where I am, rest. Let's see if we have an event. That'll be on a 9 or more. That's an 8, so no event, unsurprisingly, because apparently we don't have those. So we can heal a wound, which is probably a good thing. And then we can do the hunting. So you can still go hunting. So we'll do that. So now we need 4, more than 6. 6, 7, 8, 9. Brilliant. So we're finding 3 food. Fantastic. And then we're going to consume one of those foods, which means we're starving a little bit less, means our combat skill is going back up. And that is the end of week 3. So we're heading into week 4. So, I mean, at the end of week 5, the game is halfway over. And it doesn't really feel like anything has happened yet. Maybe it has. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair. Right, so I guess we will move on. Crack on. We're going to go south into the fields. Are we going to get lost leaving the forest? Yes. Yes, we are. Okay. What does that mean? That just means you have to stay there, doesn't it? It's been a while since I've got lost. Okay, so I guess that just prevents you from moving on. I still have to roll for an event in the hex that I was intending to move to. And that represents you sort of wandering around the boundary of the 2 locations, and something could still happen. So on a 9 or more we'll have an event. 8, no event. I guess I can still hunt. So hunting success on 5, 6, 7, 8, more than 8. 8 exactly, no success. eat one of our food, starve a little bit less. Alright, and that is the end of day 1 of week 4. Alright, on to day 2 of week 4. We're going to try and not get lost leaving the forest. No, we don't get lost. Good, good. Do we have an event going into the countryside? No, we don't. No event. Alright, in the countryside we're going to try and hunt. And so we need to be rolling 9, more than 9. Oh, cool. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're getting 1 food. Better than nothing. And then we're going to immediately consume that food, which means we are officially not starving anymore. I think, if I've got the starving mechanic right, starving is a distant memory. Alright, so that was day 2 of week 4. Alright, so day 3, I guess we are going to head into this settlement, which is called Cortha, which means I won't be able to hunt, so I'm going to go down to no food. So we're leaving the countryside. Are we going to get lost leaving the countryside? Apparently yes. Apparently we are going to get lost leaving the countryside. So we have to stay here. We were moving into a town, and you're supposed to roll an event for the location you're moving into when you get lost. You must check for a travel event in the hex you try to enter. 205B. Maybe there's some rule that I've missed here. I can't even see a 205B. We're going mad. I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's this rolling events around settlements that is throwing me a little bit. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to roll for an event. But we are stuck where we are. We can at least do some hunting. Have I got this right? Hunting? I'm now starting to second guess my understanding of all the rules. Because if I'm right, I've got to roll 11 exactly in order to find 1 food. So it's total combat skill and half your current endurance. So that's 7 plus 3. Subtract that from the roll of 2 dice. The result is the number of food gained by hunting. Yeah, okay. I think when I previously played this, I got that wrong, and I was finding plenty of food and thinking it was good times. 8. So no, we're not finding any food. We're consuming our last bit of food. Alright, we're going to try and enter the settlement again on day 4. Are we going to get lost leaving the countryside? No, we're not. Alright, so we move into the settlement. So our options are to seek news and information or to seek audience with the local lord. Let's go for the local lord, shall we? That's rule entry 211. Alright, so here we go. Seeking audience with the local lord. Roll 2 dice. See what happens. 12. Audience permitted. Turn to event 156. Alright, so last time this did not work out for me. Maybe it will this time. 5. He hears your story with interest. Gives you a letter of recommendation to the lord of the nearest castle and 50 gold for expenses. Oh my god. I'm so grateful I could have a little cry. You cannot seek another audience with him until you have used the letter. Wow, so I can go to the castle and hand in this letter and then something cool will happen and I've got some gold. It's happening. It's finally happening. Everyone stay calm. Something has finally happened. Well, so theoretically, I could stay here in the town for another day and try and recruit someone, which I've never done before in this game. Now the downside is if you recruit someone, you have to feed them, you have to house them when you're in town, I think, otherwise they get annoyed with you and run away. Seek to hire followers. I might just read the bit on hiring followers out of curiosity. 210. Seek to hire followers. Oh, so you roll a dice Do I want a follower right now? I'd have to find my follower tracking sheet, and then I'd have to find somewhere to put it on camera. So I don't think I'm going to. And I'm not really used to being in town with money. No, so if I stay here another day, I could purchase some food stores. Maybe I should be doing that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to not eat tonight. I think I could... Well, no, I could purchase a meal for 1 gold piece and not starve. No, but you know what? I'm going to be that tight with my money that I'm going to choose to starve a little bit rather than buy a meal. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Alright, so that's the end of day 4. And I think we're going to move on to day 5. And we're going to stay in town, like we just discussed. And in town, we're going to purchase some food stores. Food units can be stored and transported by yourself and mounts and others. Food stores can be purchased in town for 1 gold piece per food unit. So I think we're gonna purchase 5 foods, which means I'm gonna go down to 45 gold, but up to 5 food. Feeling so flush and healthy all of a sudden. And while we're in town, I don't think that counts as our event for the day. I think we can also do one of the events that you can normally do, and we will seek news and information, which is rule section 209. Let's see what happens. This can be unlucky. You can lose your money. That's what happened to me last time, but I didn't have any money to lose. Now I've got money to lose. No news of note. Nothing seems to be happening. Alright, end of this day, I will consume one of my food. That will take that level of starvation away. And that is the end of day 5. So we're going to head into day 6. And we're going to try and go south. Now, the most immediate way to the castle is along the road. And the good thing about going along a road is you can't get lost. However, you can't hunt either. But, you know, I've got a little bit of food. You might as well go to the castle and see what happens, because I've never been to a castle before. So that could be fun. We might head to the castle, see what happens there, and then maybe that's the end of this series for now, unless there's some kind of significant outcry of people who want me to continue. So let's do that. We're going to head along the road. We don't get lost, so we're just going to boop straight into the next location. We do have to see if we have an event on the road. 9 or more will give us an event. Nope, no event. We're not able to hunt. We consume our food. Then we're going to go on to day 7, and we're going to travel on the road again. Are we going to have an event? Yes, we are. We are having a road event. This could be good news. It could be bad news. So let's see what our road event is going to be. 6. A merchant caravan. That doesn't sound too scary, does it? Event 129. You meet a merchant caravan camped for the night. You may halt for the day with them and talk and trade, or you can ignore them and end this event. Let's have a go. Hopefully this won't be bad news. 6, 7, 8. Caravan healer has potions for sale. 6 gold each. For use, see event 180. Ooh, so I can get myself a potion. Healing potion. This potion can be applied to any one character, including yourself, at the end of the day. After the evening meal, the potion immediately cures all wounds except poison wounds. That does sound pretty handy. Yeah, we've got a little equipment section over here on my lovely sheet, but obviously I'm not going to write on that. So I'm just going to write in my little notebook that I'm keeping my notes in that I've purchased a healing potion for 6 gold. Alright, so I've just made a note that I've got a healing potion. I've written the event reference for rules on how to use it, and then I put a little box, and I'm going to, in the future, tick that box if I use my healing potion. But of course I also need to remember that I guess the healing potion will use one load. I think probably things use one load. I'm not sure I can be bothered to check the rules right now, but I'm carrying at the moment, so 3 plus the healing potion, total load, so 4 total. But that's fine for now. End of the day, am I going to have I can't hunt, can I? I can't attempt to hunt because I'm on a road, so I'm just going to consume one of my foods, and that's the end of week 4. Heading into week 5. And we're going to carry on along the road. There we go. Are we going to have an event in this bit of the road? No, we're not. And we obviously need to consume my food. Maybe I should have bought more food. So that's a fairly uneventful day. Then day 2, I think we can head into the castle. So we're not going to get lost because we're on the road, and we're going to head into Huldra Castle. So in Huldra Castle, the same as any settlement, we could seek news and information, we could hire followers, we could seek an audience with the local lord. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to get straight into that local lord, 211. Hopefully, I think there are rules when we get there for what to do if you've got a letter of recommendation. I can't see any reference to the letter, so maybe I've missed something. But logically, it seems to me that I don't need to seek an audience with the Lord because I've got a letter of recommendation, so I automatically get an audience with the Lord. I have used my letter of recommendation, that is done, and I can immediately roll to see what happens when I seek an audience with the Baron of Huldra Castle. 5. Ooh, confronted by hostile guards. Wow. Turn to event 158. Yeah. Just when you thought that this was gonna all be cool. Hostile guards. You leave the rest of your party in an atrium. We don't have a party at the moment. And are then confronted by 2 hostile guards. Each has combat skill 5, endurance 6 and wealth 7. If you pay 20 gold as a bribe, they will let you pass. Roll again on the appropriate seeking audience table. Oh, do I want to bribe them or do I want to fight them? They've got endurance 6 each. Oh, and they get first strike in combat. Oh, okay. Let's pay the bribe and hope that we have more luck the second time. 6. Audience refused today. You may try again. Wow. Well, there you go. Slight anticlimax at the end there, but I think that's probably about time to call it quits on this one, I think. If you really, really want to see me carry on, let me know. I might continue. I'm probably going to have a little break from Barbarian Prince while I play some other things, so I could always pick this game back up on camera if you really want to see me suffer some more. And I suspect some of you probably do. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I've been the Lone Adventurer. If you enjoyed this adventure and you want to see more just like it, do consider subscribing to my channel, hitting the bell notification icon so you are alerted to future videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.